जर हवी तुम्हा सुंदर धरा, हसरे गगन, ही सृष्टी घालते साद तुम्हा, देते स्मरण. जर हवी तुम्हा सुंदर धरा, हसरे गगन, ही सृष्टी घालते साद तुम्हा, देते स्मरण. ही साद घालती झाडे, कामध्ये थांबती वारे, हे पहा संपले पाणी, मातीस दुखवले कोणी. ही जीवसृष्टी हा निसर्ग सुंदर, मातीची पुण्याई, सांगती उद्याच्या पिढ्या मारे, जपा जपा हिरवाई. थांबवू चला हे प्रदूषण, लाभू दे जगा संजीवन, या करू जतन वातावरण, रे चला जपू पर्यावरण. आपले पर्यावरण, आपले पर्यावरण, आपले पर्यावरण, आपले पर्यावरण.
नमस्कार मंडळी, मी सुरभी वालावलकर ठोसर. पर्यावरण दक्षता मंडळ आणि एन्व्हायरो विजिल या संस्थांनी सुरू केलेल्या ऑनलाईन खुली पर्यावरण शाळा या उपक्रमामध्ये तुम्हा सर्वांचं मनपूर्वक स्वागत करते. आज आपल्या या सेशनमध्ये बरेच नवीन चेहरे दिसत आहेत आपल्याला. तर थोडक्यात मी तुम्हाला संस्थेबद्दल सांगू इच्छिते की आपली संस्था गेले 26 वर्ष एन्व्हायरमेंटल एज्युकेशन, अवेअरनेस आणि रिसर्च मध्ये काम करते, ठाणे आणि त्याच्या आसपासच्या परिसरामध्ये. आणि आपल्या संस्थेचे अनेक प्रकल्प आहेत, ज्यामध्ये पर्यावरण शाळा, त्यासोबतच आपलं पर्यावरण, निसर्गायन, नंतर ग्रीन शॉपी, असे अनेक विविध प्रकल्प घेऊन आपण पर्यावरण या विषयामध्ये काम करत असतो. सध्या आपला एक नवीन प्रोजेक्ट येत आहे, तो म्हणजे निसर्गायन टिटवाळा. त्याबद्दल आपण गेल्या अनेक एपिसोड मधून ऐकत आलो आहोत. निसर्गायन टिटवाळा हा एक एन्व्हायरमेंटल एज्युकेशन आणि टुरिझम सेंटर आहे, जे टिटवाळ्याचं जे सिद्धिविनायक मंदिर आहे त्यांच्या सोबत आपल्या संस्थेने आपली संस्था सुरू करत आहे. तर तिथे अनेक प्रकारचे प्रकल्प एकाच ठिकाणी आपल्या सर्वांना पाहता येतील, ज्यामध्ये ऑर्गॅनिक फार्मिंग असेल, त्यासोबतच देवराई किंवा ट्रेडिशनल पद्धतीने आपण जंगल तिथे लावणार आहोत, त्यासोबतच मियावाकी पद्धतीने देखील आपण तिथे जंगल लावणार आहोत. त्यानंतर वॉटर कन्झर्वेशनच्या दृष्टीने आपण तिथे एक तलाव बांधतोय, एक स्टेपवेल बांधतोय, ज्याला बारव असं म्हणतात. आणि असे अनेक प्रकारचे प्रकल्प, त्यासोबतच एक 8 प्रकारचे विविध गार्डन्स आपण तिथे करत आहोत. आणि हा सर्व जो प्रकल्प आहे तो साधारण अजून एक 8 महिने ते 1 वर्षामध्ये सर्वांसाठी ओपन असेल. आणि सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांना, शिक्षकांना आणि सर्वांना अशी विनंती आहे की तुम्ही या ठिकाणी नक्की भेट द्यावी आणि हे जे आपलं केंद्र आहे त्याचा नक्कीच तुम्ही आनंद घेऊ शकता. तर आजचा आपला जो ऑनलाईन पर्यावरण शाळेचा विषय आहे, तो देखील म्हणजे नेहमीप्रमाणे अतिशय वेगळाच विषय आहे आजचा. तर आजचा आपला जो एपिसोड आहे तो 110 म्हणजे 110th एपिसोड आहे पर्यावरण शाळेचा. आणि आजच्या दिवशी आपण टॅक्सॉनॉमी किंवा टॅक्सॉनॉमी म्हणजे आपण एखाद्या स्पीशीजला किंवा एखाद्या ते झाड असो किंवा प्राणी असो किंवा कुठलीही इतर स्पीशीज असो, त्यांना नाव किंवा नोमेनक्लेचर किंवा त्यांना नाव कशा प्रकारे दिलं जातं याविषयी आपण जाणून घेणार आहोत. आणि त्याचं टायटल आपलं ह्याचं आजच्या विषयाचं टायटल आहे टॅक्सॉनॉमी द लँग्वेज ऑफ बायोडायव्हर्सिटी, असं आपल्या विषयावरती आज आपण जाणून घेणार आहोत. तर या संदर्भात आपल्याला मार्गदर्शन करण्यासाठी आपल्यासोबतच उपस्थित आहेत चिंतन भट सर. मी थोडक्यात तुम्हाला त्यांचा परिचय करून देते. त्यांचं बॉटनीमध्ये पोस्ट ग्रॅज्युएशन झालं आहे आणि त्यांना इकॉलॉजी, टॅक्सॉनॉमी, नंतर कन्झर्वेशन, बायोडायव्हर्सिटी असेसमेंट या विषयामधला 9 वर्षांचा एक्सपिरियन्स आहे. ते सध्या सृष्टी कन्झर्वेशन फाउंडेशन पुणे येथे प्रोजेक्ट सायंटिस्ट म्हणून कार्यरत आहेत. आणि त्यांनी त्यांचं हे जे काम आहे ते अनेक विविध सेमिनार्स, वर्कशॉप्स, कॉन्फरन्सेसमध्ये त्यांनी प्रेझेंट केलेलं आहे. त्यासोबतच नॅशनल आणि इंटरनॅशनल जर्नलमध्ये अनेक शोधनिबंध देखील त्यांचे पब्लिश झालेले आहेत. ते अनेक NGO सोबत जोडले गेलेले आहेत, जसं की असोसिएशन म्हणजे फ्रेंड्स ऑफ ट्रीज FOT म्हणून आपण सर्वांना माहीत असेल. त्यानंतर इकॉलॉजिकल सोसायटी पुणे या संस्थेसोबत देखील आणि अशा अनेक NGO सोबत ते सतत कार्यरत असतात. तर मी सरांना विनंती करते की त्यांनी आपल्या आजच्या सेशनला सुरुवात करावी. आजचा आपला विषय आहे टॅक्सॉनॉमी द लँग्वेज ऑफ बायोडायव्हर्सिटी. एक 2च मिनिटांमध्ये आपण सेशन सुरू करूया.
हॅलो, गुड इव्हनिंग एव्हरीवन. तर आजचा जो विषय आहे टॅक्सॉनॉमी वरती, मी मीडियम ऑफ इंग्लिश दोन असणार आहे, इंग्लिश आणि मराठी. ठीक आहे. Urbi, should I share my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, sure. Is everyone able to see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, sure. ठीक है. So, thank you for the introduction, Survi. I'll start with my presentation, Taxonomy, the language of biodiversity. Okay, so what is this presentation covers? म्हणजे taxonomy, why taxonomy गरजेचं का आहे? What is the reason? What are the main reasons behind why taxonomy matters? And how classification works, rules of naming, and why taxonomy powers conservation. So this एखादा सायंटिस्ट आहे, एखाद्या स्पीशीज बद्दल बोलतो, तर त्या दुसऱ्या सायंटिस्टला पण कळतं. ते कसं काय कळतं त्यांना? कारण की देर इज अ good biological communication between them, and the names of the organisms are unambiguous. Without confusion, they have a same name, as a unique name is given to a species. जर मी मॅन्जिफेरा इंडिका जर बोलत असेल, तर समोरच्या माणसाला कळलं की मॅन्जिफेरा इंडिका म्हणजे मँगो, असं सायंटिस्ट मध्ये कम्युनिकेशन एक राहणं हे गरजेचं आहे. म्हणून टॅक्सॉनॉमी आहे. आणि इव्हन इन लोकल लेवल्स एक स्टँडर्ड नाव होणं फार गरजेचं आहे. तेच आपण पुढे ह्याच्याबद्दल जाणार आहे या प्रेझेंटेशन मध्ये. इज एव्हरीवन फाईन विथ मराठी? का कोण आहे का म्हणजे नॉन मराठी पीपल?
Yeah, most of them are fine with Marathi.
Okay, fine. So, okay. Sir, you just remember when you go to kitchen, आपण जेव्हा किचन मध्ये जातो तर एखादी गोष्ट आपल्याला सापडत नाही आणि मग आपण आईला बोलवतो. ओके, यू रिमेंबर इट हॅज हॅपन मेनी टाइम्स विथ यू अँड इट हॅपन्स विथ मी ॲज वेल. ओके, तर एखादी गोष्ट आपल्याला न सापडणे, आपण आईला ती झटकन सापडणे. आता तुम्हाला अॅनॉलॉजी कळत असेल की मी कशाबद्दल सांगतो. आता एखादा टॅक्सॉनॉमिस्ट आहे, त्याला एखादी गोष्टीची नाव माहिती असते, तर त्यांनी एका ऑर्गनायझेशन ऑर्गनाईज केलेल्या गोष्टी असतात आणि त्या मेथडने त्या एका नावाकडे येतो अँड दॅट नेम इज करेक्ट वन most of the time. Okay, so we'll go ahead. So 15वी सेंचुरी मध्ये, 15th सेंचुरी, एक प्रख्यात माणूस होता विल्यम शेक्सपियर. तुम्हाला माहितीच असेल, विल्यम शेक्सपियर एक दिग्गज माणूस आहे आणि त्यावर खूप सारे त्याचे जे प्लेज आहेत, नाटक आहेत, ते आजही रिपीट होतात नवीन रूपांतरणमध्ये. ओके, तर त्यांनी काय सांगितलेलं 15वी सेंचुरीमध्ये, what's in a name that which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. याचा अर्थ काय आहे की नावात काय आहे. जर रोज किंवा गुलाबचं वेगळं नाव असतं तर ते गुलाब त्याची जे वैशिष्ट्य आहे ते बदलू नाही शकत. म्हणजे ते त्याचा सुहास जे आहे ते सुंदरच असणार आहे, सुवासिकच असणार आहे, असं त्यांनी बाहेर असं एक कोट त्यांनी दिलेला विल्यम शेक्सपियरने. पण पुढे शेक्सपियर नंतर अजून एक दिग्गज माणूस आला, त्याने पूर्ण कायापलट करून टाकली. त्याचं नाव आहे कार्ल लिनेस. तो कार्ल लिनेस is one of the founding members of taxonomy. He is also known as the father of modern taxonomy. तर त्यांनी काय सांगितलं, इफ यू डू नॉट नो द नेम्स ऑफ द थिंग्स, द नॉलेज ऑफ देम इज ऑल्सो लॉस्ट टू. म्हणजे जर एखादी गोष्टचं नाव तुम्हाला माहित नसेल तर त्याची नॉलेज पण हळूहळू लवकर विलुप्त होऊन जाणार. तर कार्ल लिनेस 17वी सेंचुरीमध्ये पूर्ण शेक्सपियरला कॅन्सल करून टाकलं आणि ते त्यांचे जे स्टडीज आहेत आजही आम्ही यूज करतो. त्यांची टॅक्सॉनॉमी, त्यांची जे पद्धत आहे आजही यूज करतात आहे. म्हणजे इवन इन 20th सेंचुरी वी यूज हिज मेथड्स टू परफॉर्म टॅक्सॉनॉमी. अँड ही वॉज द ओनली वन टू गिव्ह बायनोमियल नेम्स. म्हणजे एखाद्या स्पीशीजला दोन नाव, जीनस आणि स्पीशीज असं नाव देणं त्यांनी सुरुवात केलेली, बायनोमियल नेम्स. त्याच्या आधी खूप सारे सायंटिस्ट होते दॅट त्यांनी काय होतं की त्यांचं पण मेथड होते, पण काही त्यांनी बायनोमियल नेम्स वरती लक्ष दिलं नव्हतं. पण ट्रायनोमियल नेम्स होते आधी, 3-4 नाव एका गोष्टीसाठी एकाच लाईनवर. तर ते पुढे जाऊन प्रॅक्टिकल नव्हतं. तर या माणसाने पुढे जाऊन प्रॅक्टिकॅलिटी आणली टॅक्सॉनॉमी मध्ये, अँड दॅट्स वाय इज नोन टुडे ॲज अ फादर ऑफ मॉडर्न टॅक्सॉनॉमी. पुढे आता टॅक्सॉनॉमिक लॅडर, म्हणजे टॅक्सॉनॉमिक लॅडर किंवा हायरार्की. मी तुम्हाला एक एक्झाम्पल दिला असेल आईचाच. किचन मध्ये जर तुम्हाला एखादी गोष्टी सापडत नसेल तर कसं करावं, आणि आई जर बसलेली असेल आणि तुम्हाला इन्स्ट्रक्शन देते, हा कबट उघड, त्याच्यात तो लेफ्ट हँड साइडचा डबा असेल आणि त्या डबामधून डब्याच्या साइडच्या डब्यामधून ते काढा, तिकडे तुझी गोष्टी मिळणार. ओके, so it's similarly like that. These are taxonomic ladder or hierarchy. आपण एक हे सिस्टमॅटिक मॅनर जे अरेंजमेंट आहे, आपण त्या अरेंजमेंट अनुसार एखादी स्पीशीजला अरेंज करतो. आता इकडे बदक दिसत असेल तुम्हाला, तो बदक जो आहे तो रुडीशेल डक. आता रुडीशेल डकचा जर आपण टॅक्सॉनॉमिक लॅडर करायचा असेल तर हा पहिला जो आहे, फर्स्ट जो आहे सर्वात हायर रँक आहे युकारिया. युकारिया म्हणजे ज्यात ट्रू न्यूक्लियस असतात, हा डोमेन आहे. फर्स्ट वन इज डोमेन. Second is Animalia, which is kingdom. Chordata is phylum, and this is Avis is class, Ensiformis is order, Anatidae is family, हा जीनस आणि हा स्पीशीज. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, जर माझं नाव चिंतन भट आहे, तर चिंतन भट मधलं भट जे आहे ते गिवन नेम आहे. इट्स अ हायर रँक. तर गिवन माझ्या फॅमिलीकडून आलेलं आहे किंवा पूर्वजांकडून आलेलं आहे. तर भट जे आहे ते जीनस आहे. चिंतन जे आहे ते ऍक्च्युअल स्पीशीज आहे. ओके. तर असंच जे टेडॉर्निया फेरुजिनिया आहे, तर टेडॉर्निया जीनस आहे आणि फेरुजिनिया स्पीशीज आहे. ठीक आहे. अ स्पीशीज सिट्स इनसाइड अ जीनस. तसं डबाच्या अंदर डबा करतो ना आपण, तसंच स्पीशीज जो आहे छोटा डबा आहे, त्याच्यात मोठा डबा हा आहे, त्याच्याहून मोठा डबा हा आहे, त्याच्याहून मोठा डबा क्लास, मग नंतर फायलम, मग नंतर डिव्हिजन, मग डोमेन, असं डब्यात टाकायचंय. ओके. आणि रडी शेल्डक, इकडे अजून एक वाक्य लिहिलेलं आहे मी की रडी शेल्डक जे आहे हा पक्षी जरी सिस्टमॅटिक मॅनरने आपण त्याच्या स्पीशीज पर्यंत जाऊ शकतो. ओके.
Chintan,
येस.
just 1 minute, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
We have some participants from Gujarat and Assam as well. So,
Okay. So we can
continue.
speak in, yes, sure.
Yeah, like you can keep 80% English, 20% Marathi. Okay.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Thank you.
So why we can go to a next chapter. Why scientific names matter? It's like common names are local. Like there could be different name in Gujarati, there could be different name in Marathi, and there could be different name in Bengali for the same plant. That's why there is no standard name or single name for a one plant. For example, so one species can have many vernacular names. So common names are local, and they can have many vernacular names, and the same vernacular name may refer to different species also. That can be that can happen many times. The same name can be given to 2 or 3 species. Okay. Language changes faster than formal nomenclature. So there is a within geographical limits, there are more changes in the languages than there is in the nomenclature. Okay. So scientific names are global, and they are like standards. And the binomials link to species and a genus and a diagnosis. The scientific names travel across disciplines and countries. So whether you are talking to a scientist from France, if you are referring to species called Mangifera indica, then he will understand that is it. If you tell them they won't be understanding most of the time. So if you tell them it's Mangifera indica, they will definitely click it and they will understanding faster. So there is a smooth communication between scientists. Okay. Stable names make data sets, laws, and field guides interoperable. So all these is for the we need stable names for data sets, to making data sets which are reliable, laws which we can put more proper laws on it, and field guides which are interoperable. So field guides are the books where we have photographs of plants or animals, giving scientific names of that particular species, and information and description about it. So these are all field guides, and how to identify these plants or animals. These come under field guides, and these field guides can be interoperable when you have one standard name for one species. Okay. So, for example, I have given you one example of that bird, ruddy duck. Radar identifies as ruddy duck. Ruddy duck is a common English name, precisely whatever its local name may be. So, whatever the local name may be, Tadorna ferruginea means ruddy duck, or whatever the local name it is having currently. Okay. So yes, there is a difference between taxonomy and nomenclature. So nomenclature and taxonomy are uh, uh, coexisting together, but they have little difference between them. So like what is the core task of taxonomy is like you have to classify organism into hierarchical groups like species, genus, and family. So you have to classify. I have showed you the taxonomic ladder or hierarchy. So there is the tech. So I have given you the example of mother, uh, how to find things in the kitchen, but your mom finds it faster or quicker than you because she has organized that kitchen very well and she knows where the things are. Okay, so that's why a mother, for example, we'll take another analogy. A mother is a taxonomist. She classifies things and she knows where to keep the things. So that is a work of a taxonomist. Then on nomenclature. Nomenclature is what where to keep is taxonomy, and how to keep nomenclature. How to keep is nomenclature. So assigning and applying standardized scientific names to taxa. So there is scope that identification, description, and classification of organism focuses only on rules. Okay, the nomenclature will focus on only on what could be the rules, what rules can be applied to give to a scientific name, or how to process taxonomy in a regulated form. So main concern, how should organism be grouped? Yeah. So and their relationship. So this is another concern for taxonomy and nomenclature. What should we call a given group? So for example, all the given name of the classes were uh, the part of nomenclature. Okay, and where it should be grouped, it is a part of taxonomy. Decided. For example, Rosa. Rosa is a genus and belong to family. It belongs to family Rosaceae. Now, naming that species Rosa indica following binomial rules. So, is it following the rules of the nomenclature? Rosa indica, yes, it is a binomial name and it is described well, and it should be placed in family of Rosaceae. So that is the work of a taxonomy, and the rules which are required to facilitate taxonomy are the part of nomenclature. Okay. So why scientific names? Okay. So what makes a name legitimate and usable? Okay. So what does it? What does a name become important? Why and usable by everyone? So that is something called typification. Okay. So each name is tied to a type. So it is, for example, uh, there is a typical type of shape which is given to some equipment. So this is a type of shape that is given to this equipment, and this shape is this type of what we call, this is the type of that shape, and then this specimen and the type concept that anchors its application. So this I know this type, okay, this type of shape and this type of shape, and we refer to that if we want to uh, explain it to someone, we refer to that type. Okay, so when we explain things to them, we refer to that type. So it's called uh, typification. And for example, a genus has some characters. Genus has some characters of having a lot of like hairy leaves. Okay, for example. So these genus, for example, we have given it a name as Hirsularia. Okay, so it's an example. It's a made-up name. Hirsularia. It's a genus. Where it's a type. So this type, the leaves are having hairs, and they have this type of hairs. So this is the type we are referring to. There is one species, and somebody after 10 years found another species, and it will another species but belonging to the same genus. So it will refer to that type. So I hope you are understanding this concept. It's a difficult concept. So most difficult concept in taxonomy and nomenclature is typification. Okay. So the second. These are all some major type of rules which are which are used for making a scientific names. So this is priority. Priority is also one of the rules where priority is given to the earliest eligible names. That means if Linnaeus have discovered something in 17th century and it is legitimate, the name is valid and eligible according to the rules of the nomenclature. That means that name cannot be changed now. That name would be the same for the species. So this priority, for example, if you know aloe vera, so aloe vera uh, it's described by Linnaeus. So aloe vera, the aloe name is used since the time of Linnaeus, and there are people who have discovered something before Linnaeus as well. So if their work is eligible, that can be uh, under the rule of priority, that can be used, and it can be used till now. Okay. The second is publication. Yes, Linnaeus has written, Carl Linnaeus has written so many books, and in that books he has mentioned many names and description of the plants. So the word description here it's very important. Whenever you are publishing something, so it has to have a description. Otherwise, it is an illegitimate name. Okay, so it's taxonomy is not just naming; it is evidence-based naming under agreed international rules. So now this nomenclature is governed by shared codes. So there are uh, two government bodies, governing bodies, which are constantly working hard uh, to make our lives easier when it comes to scientific names. So there is one ICZN, International Code of Zoological Nomenclature. They regulate formal naming for animals. And there is one more called ICN, which is the International Code of Nomenclature, Algae, Fungi, and Plants. So these two bodies have responsibility towards this this type of what we call this type of organisms. Okay, they focus on availability, priority, and types. Applies from for me, both of them are doing the same kind of work, and these they have different set of rules, and sometimes the rules are also coinciding with each other. That means the rules of zoological nomenclature and botanical nomenclature. Some of the rules are almost similar. Okay, so but the methods and end goal of these two organization is to have stable, universal biological communication through having same name for a single organism. Okay, so yes, where taxonomies can be uh, can be helpful. So these floras and faunas, we can make checklist, accepted names and synonyms. There are synonyms. What do you mean by synonyms? The synonyms are the names which are similar to the name of some same organism, but currently it is not accepted. So that's why it falls under synonym. So there are many, uh, if you go to index called IPNI, International Plant Name Index. So you can go through that nomenclature index. So you can go through that website and you will see if you type one name and you will see whether it is a synonym or not. Whether it is accepted, then you can click on what are the synonyms for that. Okay. So from past 5 years, I have seen one plant which is this Marsdenia volubilis. That plant which has been changed. The genus has been changed for 3 times. So earlier it was Watakaka volubilis. Watakaka is a Kerala name for that, and then it's changed to Marsdenia. Now it has some another name. So the names keep changing with new evidences comes out of the shadow. So this DNA barcoding also there because of DNA barcoding and what DNA what we molecular data because of molecular data lot of names has been replaced and changed, and still it is an ongoing process. Okay, so biogeography, look at the yes, biogeography is quite important. Distribution maps are meaningful only when records refer to the correct taxon. If there is a correct name or correct taxon, we will understand what is biogeography. So also environmental law. Yeah, environmental law is right now we are having a clash between development and saving nature. So yes, environmental law does help when you have a correct taxon. If you have a very rare species, rare species in that area, you cannot do any development. You can write it to the government and you can come up with some environmental laws which will not further degrade that land. Okay. Yes, the next is conservation planning. Yes, all species are important. Every species matter, and there are few species which are restricted and which are restricted to only a particular geographical area, and these are called endemic species or endemism. For example, some species which are found in Western Ghats, which are found nowhere else in the world. That means the Western Ghat is so particularly important biogeographical area or biodiversity hotspot that that helps us in conservation planning of such species. Yes, why taxonomic matters now? Why it is always helping it's cataloging biodiversity and describing the names, new species, documenting Earth diversity for conservation and further discoveries. Organizes knowledge, just like a mother who organizes your. Hmm. kitchen and your household work. Yeah, builds hierarchical classification, genre, family, orders as global filing, empowers identification, create keys, field guides, and apps on so non-expert can ID species. So we field guides are based on taxonomical work. We make field guides which are helpful for people who are not expert in the field of biology. They can use that field guides to identify such species and come up with data sets which are helpful uh, in helping and conserving the area. Reveals evolutionary history, yes, phylogenetic trees, hypothesis relationship. This happens with the with the molecular data which is coming, ra- which is an ongoing process, which is still adding up, and there are a lot of changes happening in the current names and the relationship between how these species belong to this family and these species belong to that family and that order, and this is all, and so on. And preserves evidence, yes, the museum, the natural history museum, which are called libraries of life, where they keep the specimen preserved for as an evidence for further studies, for future studies. Yes. So let me uh, tell you a case of a fungoid frog. There is a frog in India named fungoid frog. So you can check these two frogs and see whether there is a difference between them. Just for 5 seconds, you can check it and you can tell me whether there is a difference between these two species. Yes, of course, there is a difference between some coloration, but that is not the case, or that is not a good character to differentiate. On the left, it is called Hydrophylex malabarica or Malabar fungoid frog, and on the right, it is a Hydrophylex Bahuvistara. Bahuvistara, the name is a Sanskrit name, comes from two words. Bahu means many, and Vistara means spread. Okay, so widespread. So it's called, that's why it's called widespread fungoid frog. Okay, so let's go ahead and yes, these two species are closely related fungoid frogs, which are present in peninsular India and Western Ghats. Differing, they have some genetic differences between them, and one was described in 1838 and one was described recently in 2015. Now there is a yes, there are changes in them, but they are separated by morphology and range. Now this look at the distribution actually. H. malabar is primarily restricted to Kerala and Tamil Nadu in the southern Western Ghats. Okay, so this Malabar fungoid frog is just restricted to two states, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, which is southern Western Ghats, and H. Bahuvistara extends widely across Maharashtra, Karnataka, Goa, and Madhya Pradesh. So it has a widespread distribution. The overlap, there are few evidences that they overlap. Overlap happens in southern limit. That means Goa, southern Maharashtra, Goa, and Karnataka borders. Now there is a question to all of you: what would be the consequences if the study didn't happen? If there was no study as such? So I'll point out that Hydrophylex malabaricus was described in the year 1838. And hydrophylax Bauistara were described in 2015. I'll give you 2 seconds to think what would be the consequences if this study didn't happen, if there was no this such study. So yes, there are few problems that will occur if we don't study such if there are no studies like that happening. So there would be taxonomic inaccuracy. So if there is a distinct species, we will be treating it as a one. So we will be ignoring the genetic differences, morphological differences, and we won't be able to separate the evolutionary lineages. So there are evolutionary changes happening, but we'll be ignoring such changes. So database errors. So there, of course, there will be database errors because if you are treating two things as one, there would be definitely there would be errors. Okay. So conservation risk. Now, what could be the problem? The conservation risk means there is one frog from southern India which has no distribution in northern India or the parts of peninsular India. And now it has overlooks as Bahuvistara in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Goa, MP, reducing its protection urgency. Even if its population is low in southern India, we will treat it as Malabaricus. Malabaricus is found everywhere. I mean, like it is found in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh also. Okay, I hope you are understanding. Ah, research confusion. Yes, there would be research confusion when we are mislabeling two popular northern population as. Of course, this was the point. Yes, as H. Malabaricus, doing ecological studies, variation analysis, and biodiversity metrics. Of course, this would be the next arising problem. Now, ecological impacts. Now, field IDs, diversification rate, and monitoring in Western Ghats. So, the Malabaricus, which is a proper Western Ghats species, will be treated as a widespread species. I hope you understand this case of the fungoid frog. This is one of the uh, problems. And yes, we'll go through some names. Okay, how taxonomic names are inspired, or where they have how taxonomy the species names have this meaning behind the names, scientific names. Some species are named after the striking characters, such as in morphology or appearance. That means this Butea monosperma. So look at the fruits. This Butea monosperma palash, the flame of the forest. It has a single seed at the end of its pod. So you can see in this picture, there is a single seed. It doesn't have a seed all along its pod. It has a single seed at the end of its pod. So we check it, Butea monosperma, flame of the forest palash. The name monosperma means single seed. Okay, this is how characters, the names are given after their morphology or appearance. We'll go to the next page. Yes, I hope everyone has seen this flower somewhere in the garden or along the roadside. If not, then you can check it out. It's a common avenue tree which is grown on the roadside in the cities as well. Rajastomia speciosa, the queen crepe myrtle, a pride of also called pride of India, and the local name is Jarul or Taman. The speciosa means showy. It has a showy flowers. It has a showy characteristic. So that's why it is named as Lagerstomia species. The species name, the specific epithet is named as speciosa. It's a state flower of Maharashtra. So one more thing, appearance, and next is also describing its uh, striking character. This golden poison frog from Colombia. Look at the name here, Phyllobatis terribilis. In 1978, it was described by Charles W. Myers and Boris Malkin, as well as biochemist John W. Daly. Okay, the species name terribilis is a reference to the deadly toxins present in the skin secretion of this species. It's a poisonous frog, so it has a deadly secretion on this on its skin, and these deadly secretions are used by Colombian natives on the darts for hunting purposes. Okay, yeah, yes, and one more recently. Now, some species are named after the phenomenon, ecological concepts, and to highlight conservation. This is a damselfly named called Protosticta armagedonia. The Protosticta armagedonia, described by Aravish Paira et al. 2023, is named after the phenomenon of insect Armageddon, which highlights the alarming global declining population of insects in this modern era. One of the scientists in America has has come out with word called insect Armageddon or Insectageddon. So it is named after such a phenomenon, Protosticta armagedonia. And some are also named after uh, named after some species which needs conservation, immediate conservation. These two of the spiders, Palpimanus godawan and Palpimanus maldok. This godawan and maldok, these two names are of a bird called Great Indian Bustard. Okay, so this godawan is a Rajasthani name, and maldok is a name from Maharashtra. Okay, so these species are found in the similar habitats and similar area where this bird also thrives, Great Indian Bustard, and this also highlights the conservation in such dynamic landscape. Okay, it was described by Tripathi and Kuni respectively. Do you know this man? I'm sure that some of the people here know this man. So some of them are named after famous person. So this famous person is uh, David Attenborough. He's a famous naturalist and TV broadcaster. We have seen many documentaries of nature. He has narrated many documentaries of nature, and he has been a pioneer in science nature communication. Yes, many species are named after him, David Attenborough, and there are a list of many species which are named after many celebrities. You can go through them. You can go through them on internet and check out. There is interesting called Gaga Fern, GAGA. Okay, that Gaga Fern is named after Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga is a singer, uh, uh, famous pop singer. And interestingly, that fern also has a long sequence of GAGA, nucleotide, which is GAGA repeating itself for a long time. So that's why the fern is also named as Gaga. So there are multiple reasons where taxonomies use many meaning to name a species, and it is a very It is a tough task. Also, if everyone knows this man, he is a trending man. Okay, so this is President Donald Trump, and there is a species named after him as well. So Neopalpa Donald Trumpi, a small moth, which has a striking resemblance with his iconic hairstyle. So yes, it was also described recently. So this Neopalpa Donald Trumpi was discovered in California, mm, by a researcher named Wazarin Nazari. And Mr. Nazari said he hoped it would inspire Mr. Trump to prioritize ecological issues during his term in office. So also there are a lot of thinking and uh, thought process involved in naming such species, and also there are good intent in naming such species. So what is taxonomy? Why taxonomy is essential, but it is never finished. There are different lineages that may look similar. That we had a case of fungoid frog, which they may look similar, but morphology cannot uh, alone cannot solve the problem. That's why there is taxonomy needs to keep going, and there are name change when species are lumped, split or reinterpreted after new evidence has appears. The new data, uh, when the new data is adding up, and we come up with a position change of a species, where I gave you an example of plant which had a change in the name of genus three times within past 5 years. So it is going to keep happening with further information. Collections and monographs and trained specialists remain limiting infrastructure for many groups. Yes, there are difficulties, and there are many practical problems which needs to be solved to facilitate taxonomy and nomenclature. So name needs revision. Yes, it's 100%, 100%, 100%. We need revisions in names, and there are few names which are as it is since the time of Carl Linnaeus and even before him. Taxonomy supports data integration. Yes, 95% of the time. Yes, because of taxonomy, there is a uh, there is a good flow of data, good reliability of data. Conservation depends on species concept. Yes, of course, if there is no species concept, there would be no conservation. Just I gave you an example of two spider species named after Great Indian Bustard, two different looking species living in the same habitat but in different geographical area, like one residing in Solapur and one residing in Rajasthan. Yes, taxonomy turns biodiversity into knowledge. That's why it is the language of biodiversity. And when organisms are named, delimited, and classified, they can be studied, mapped, monitored, and conserved. Yes, there are few personal achievements as well. There is one species of diatom. Yes, I forgot to mention the species are named after the geographical location from where it is found. So the species that I found, I named it after a cave, yeah, from which it was found. This is also one other way of naming things. Also, it's not about always finding a new species, but finding something which is right, which is fitting, which is correct. So hibiscus saidiform is a new record to India was recently found, and we were with this species for last 3 years, and in 2025 it got published. We were with this species for 3 years. We thought it's a new species, but it is not a new species. It is a species from Africa, and and once it was found that it is from Africa, and it is not found in India somewhere. It is not reported in India, so that's why it is a new record, a new report to India. So yes, thank you to all. Gratias vobis, thank you to all. Gratias vobis is in Latin. And also Carl Linnaeus, may nature makes no leaves. That means nature is slow and steady and keeps going forward. It doesn't suddenly go up. So there are no sudden changes at night. So only it changes with time. So there are references. So if you want to know more about Latin and Greek words and their meaning, I have given. You can take a screenshot of this slide, or you can go through this uh, title list of Latin and Greek words commonly used in systematic names. You can go through these. There are many names, Latin names, which has a meaning. So you can go through that. So also they can also go through the why taxonomy matters. If you want to know much in detail why taxonomy matters, so you can go through this link, and others are just references. And also, if you want to read the nomenclature rules, so you can go through ICZN and IAPT. So there is one question from my side before your question starts. So there are two species, Lantana camara and Lantana indica. So it's a similar case study. If there was no study in the name of Lantana indica, what would be the consequences? You can write it in the chat box. So what would be the consequences if Lantana indica, we didn't know about, there was a species called Lantana indica, which is native to India, and Lantana camara, which is invasive to India. So if we didn't know about the latter one, Lantana indica, what would be the consequences? You can type it down in chat box as well, so that I know if you have understood concept.
If anybody wants to answer this question, you can unmute yourself and answer. Instead of writing comments in chat box, you can just like unmute yourself and answer.
So I was saying that we would be describing our experience of the plant in like we would have like things to say based on observation. People who were observant might have observations, and it would be descriptive, it would be emotive, but nothing conclusive would come of that And if someone made a meaningful observation, they would not know how to connect with other people who were making a meaningful observation of, the species being a disturbance or something being unusual about it.
Yeah, like what? Yes, what would be the consequences actually? Like simple in one or two sentences.
Okay. Like meanwhile, we can move to one of the questions. We can
Yeah.
take just one question due to time
Yeah.
constraint.
Mhm.
Okay, so 1 second, yeah, the one species which was named after Trump.
Uh-huh.
Raki wants to know the habitat and one important character of that species.
Okay, so these important characters, you can go through the description of that species, but I would say it is native to California and Mexico part. It's native to that area, and also this important character, which had a flaky head, which had a feather-like head, which was strikingly resembling with Donald Trump. So that's why this is one of the characters which is that's why it is named after Donald Trump. So that is one of the most striking character for that. And it is not this character is I have gone through that paper roughly. This character is not common within the moths. So there's flaky head. It has a flaky head.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really interesting to know how the species are named after, some characters and habitat and other things. So just one more question we can take. Um, no, I think most of the questions are they already been answered in your presentation itself. So if anybody has any more questions, then I'll be showing one of the number where you can send a WhatsApp text and you can join our online Paryavaran Shala group where you will get answers for all of your questions. And okay, so I would like to thank Chintan for his amazing and very informative session. Um, if anybody has any questions, then we can take them later. Okay.
Okay.
Due to time constraint, we cannot take more
You
questions.
can also email me if you have some doubts
Yes.
regarding taxonomy or nomenclature. You can also contact me on WhatsApp, and you can also contact me on this email ID.
May we
I hope you
request
enjoyed.
Chintan to answer the question that he had asked, because nobody came up with an answer he was satisfied with?
A few one sentence that was answered in that slide as well. If you go to the slide of fungoid frog, yes,
Okay,
there would
thank
be
you.
some errors. Yes, the most important is conservation risk. And while you are doing a restoration work, if two species happen to be in same area, so what you will do is like you will remove both the species. So that is one of the major risks that will that is going to happen if you do not know what is Lantana indica. Yes, I hope you understand. Everyone understood. Thank you all for joining.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We have some announcements to make, so we'll be moving to that.
Stop sharing.
Okay, so Paryavaran Dakshata Mandal is also working for lake conservation. So we have this Lake Saturday event starting from tomorrow. सो उद्या संध्याकाळी 4:30 वाजता ठाण्यातला जो उपवन लेक आहे, दॅट इज व्हेरी फेमस लेक. सो आपण तिथे भेटणार आहोत आणि विल बी ऑब्झर्विंग द बायोडायव्हर्सिटी ऑफ दॅट लेक अँड विल बी टॉकिंग विथ द लोकल कम्युनिटी. And if they have any problems regarding the lake, then we'll be solving them as well. So we will be completing 3 years now, the lake campaign, and our NGO will be completing around 26. We have been working since 26 years, so we'll be completing 27 years now. So since like 27 years, we have been working in environmental education, awareness, and research. So if anybody want to join our organization, you can just connect on this number. I'll be sharing this number once again. Yeah, so you can just connect on this number, which you can see on the screen. You can send WhatsApp message on this number. You will be connected to all our activities, and you will get updates of further activities as well. सो थँक्यू सो मच चिंतन. पुन्हा एकदा खूपच सुंदर आणि इन्फॉर्मेटिव्ह सेशन होतं आणि खूप सोप्या भाषेमध्ये सगळ्यांना समजेल असं तू एक्सप्लेन केलंस, त्याबद्दल मनपूर्वक धन्यवाद. आणि पुढच्या शुक्रवारी पण आपण भेटणार आहोत एका वेगळ्या विषयावरती, बिकॉज एव्हरी फ्रायडे आपल्याला सेशन असतं. पुढच्या शुक्रवारी आपण 4 वाजता ॲनिमल कम्युनिकेशन या विषयी आपण डिस्कस करणार आहोत. आणि ते लेक्चर घेण्यासाठी आपल्यासोबत डॉक्टर निलिमा कुलकर्णी मॅम या असणार आहेत. तर नेक्स्ट फ्रायडेला सुद्धा इवन दोज हू हॅव जॉईन फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम, आय एम रिक्वेस्टिंग देम टू जॉईन अगेन फॉर अवर नेक्स्ट सेशन ॲज वेल. सो या नंबरवर तुम्ही व्हॉट्सअप केलं तर तुम्हाला डिटेल्स त्याच्यामध्ये समजतील आणि यू कॅन जॉईन अवर नेक्स्ट सेशन. सो थँक्यू सो मच. थँक्यू चिंतन वन्स अगेन, अँड थँक्यू ऑल द पार्टिसिपंट्स. थँक्यू सो मच.
Thank you, PDM as well. Thank you.